Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about how to go to the omoplata, how to do the omoplata. Obviously, the most basic way to do it. There's many ways to set this up, but we're going to do it from closed guard since this is our closed guard series. You're going to notice as you drill this more, the arm bar, omoplata, even the sit-up sweep and Kimura all kind of like fit the same kind of techniques. So let's start. Similar to all of our other techniques, step one, I'm going to try and get his hands to the mat. If his hands are already on the mat, that's that's great for me. Okay, now you guys remember before we would do like sit-up sweeps like this or Kimura like this, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the same side collar that I grabbed his hand. Notice my shoulders are off the mat. I'm going to punch his face away as I swivel towards the hand that I'm grabbing, this one. So I punch and swivel so that I'm looking in his ear. Similar to the Kimura, remember we keep the foot on the back? Same thing here, so that he can't front roll away. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to replace my hand with my foot. There. That's all. So again, one, grab two. Now push and swivel. Replace your hand with your foot, and then you can let go. Now at this point, I want you to ask your teammate, can you push in towards me? If it looks like this, no good. So when your teammate starts pushing it towards you, I want you to stretch your leg so you feel strong here and the person can't just stack you. The next thing we're gonna do is we gotta sit up. Well, it's hard to sit up if my leg's close to me. So my intention is to try and bring my foot under his jaw as I push my foot to the mat and stretch it away. For example, not stretch up in the air because you'll slide and come back in. I want to push down and away. So down and away. At the same time, I'm going to use that momentum to sit up. Now, if sitting up is a little difficult for you, what you could do is use your elbow, similar to how we sat up with the Kimura and the sit-up sweep. We hinged our elbow in. So I hinge my elbow in, and I use that to sit up as I stretch. Look, look, look. See my right elbow? As I stretch my legs. All right, let me rotate you. Now, I'm going to exaggerate here. See how I'm facing away from him? If my hips are facing anything other than flat, not good. I want both my hips on the mat. Okay? So I stretched. I have both my hips on the mat. Once I'm here, I'm going to put my hand over his back. Similar to my leg, if my hand's not over his back, he's just going to front roll and escape. Go and front roll and escape. There. And then we have different options from there. But I want to stop that, so I'm going to put my hand over his back. If I can reach the lapel on that opposite side, that's the best as well. Now notice my legs are pinched. I'm not wide open like this. And my knee is facing his face so that there's a lot of pressure on the shoulder. If my knees were like this, there's no pressure. He could just whip his arm out. Okay? So I turn my knees so that my knees are facing his face. I'm gonna triangle my legs, okay, just because my hips are not as flexible. So if you're not flexible, you can triangle your legs. But if you're able to go like this is good as well. Now all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my hand on the mat, and either by grabbing the lat or grabbing the collar on that side, I'm gonna scoot away first, then pull. Scoot away, pull. Until and only when he falls on his side do I then go for my finish. See, if he's on his knees and I try to sit up, he can just lift his hips up. Just lift your hips up, and I'll never submit him. Go back. So I need to make sure he falls, so that I can then submit him. Well, how do I submit him from here? If you have the flexibility, you can grab the collar and just lift up in a diagonal motion. A lot of times what happens when people first start this, they go like this. They just lift their hips up in the air, or they go every direction other than the opposite, like catty corner, or opposite direction. So I'm not just bending over like this. See, my hips never moved. I'm lifting my hips up in that direction, see? Okay, you can keep your knees pinched. Now, if that's hard for you, the easiest way to come up is to switch my position. So my left hand's on the mat. I'm going to put my right hand on the mat. And then I put my left hand behind me here as I push off my backhand to lift my hips up for my submission. Now, how do I let my teammate out of this? Very important. I just do a little back roll and I open my legs. And that allows my teammate to escape that position nice and safely. Okay, so a lot of good details there. Watch it a few times and let me know how you do with your omoplata.